Hi, this is Shelley Kraft, and we're coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Hard Asset Conference, and we are in New York City. I have next to me Eric Sprott of Sprott Asset Management, but there's a lot of Sprott out there, so we're going to get back to that in a second. This is a special interview. The Sprott company is a well-known company, so we want to dig down a little bit and find out exactly what Sprott's all about.
Sure.
Okay, so welcome to SNN Live.
Thank you, Shelley. Well, first of all, we've been investors in precious metals for the last 11 years. We kind of caught the bottom in both gold and silver. We run about $9 billion of assets. We probably have about 6 or 7 of those in precious metals. We have, as you know, some public companies that trade both on the big board and the Toronto Stock Exchange. Our Silver Physical Trust, PSLV, the Gold Physical Trust, PHYS, and of course our parent company, Sprott Inc., is public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We also have Sprott Resource Lending and Sprott Resources, are public companies, and so we're involved in all facets of the gold mining and silver mining and resource businesses.
So you're the money. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people think that New York is sort of the financial capital of the world, but I can assure you that Toronto is the mining finance capital of the world, and I like to think that our foyer is the capital of that capital. So we get to see everybody, and we have a lot of investments in various gold companies, many of them here today, so we're no stranger to this situation.
And you speak, are you speaking today?
I'm speaking momentarily, yes.
Okay, so let me make it fast. What are you speaking about?
I will be talking about the financial condition that we are in and how you survive the financial meltdown that we're likely to experience. And of course, my conclusions will be to be involved in gold and silver in a nutshell.
So where do you think those two minerals go?
Well, you know, it's very undefined. I mean, it's a great question in the sense that everyone wants to know how high the price of gold is going to go. It's one that you can't answer because you have to know, do we have a QE3 coming? To what extent will the ECB bail out the countries and the banks? I mean, we are printing a lot of money throughout the world, and depending on the amount of money will depend on where the price of gold and silver goes. One thing I think, not assure people, but one of the things I believe is that silver will trade to a ratio of 16-to-1 to gold. So, for example, if gold is 1,600, then silver goes to 100. That's what I think is kind of in the cards here for this decade. And gold on its own, I think, has been the investment of the last decade. I think silver is going to be the investment of this decade, and I think both are going substantially higher.
Why do you think that about silver?
I think that about silver because I can see the buying interest in silver. There's as much money going into silver as is going into gold these days when you look at the popular vehicles, whether it's the SLV versus the GLD. We sell coins, we sell more silver coins, more dollars of silver coins. The U.S. Mint sells more dollars of silver coins than they sell dollars of gold coins. So I just feel this rush coming in, and how can the price be 40-to-1 when the money's going in at 1-to-1?
So, when you go to one of these conferences and you see all of these junior exploration and junior mining companies, what do you think of that? What do you think of what you're seeing out there?
Well, most of these companies we've seen. I mean, most of them would have visited us before. I think it's a great forum for them to get to meet new customers or potential investors, I guess is the way I should have put it. I think there's lots of opportunity in junior stocks. I've always been an investor in small to mid-sized stocks because they're overlooked, underfollowed. They can have stunning results that people don't react to, and it's a very interesting area for most investors.
We also, when you get into the production, and that's, the large companies are using up their reserves, and they're out there looking for new reserves. So I see also a potential for these young companies.
Well, there's no doubt that the big companies have to buy the little companies because the big companies don't really find at the rate that the little companies do. I've always been a little surprised the big companies haven't swallowed up more smaller companies in this last 11-year bull market. If they would have made the move early, I think there would have been some phenomenal rewards to some of the bigger companies, but most of them kind of look at the smaller projects and figure they'll pick them off sooner or later, but then they get almost too big and the market starts appreciating the value and then they don't want to pay for it. But ultimately, the companies that are coming up with very large deposits will command a lot of interest from somebody in the gold and silver space.
Now, for someone to find out more information on your thoughts,
Yep.
which would be the best website to send them?
Sure. Well, we have a website called Sprott.com. Normally anything we write on the market is available there. They can go to the Physical Silver Trust, the PSLV Trust, the PHYS Gold Trust. We have websites for both those companies, but Sprott.com would take everyone there.
And if I would be so bold, it would be a good idea to go out and buy gold and silver and take physical delivery, wouldn't it?
Well, the emphasis that is always on taking physical delivery. I mean, it's almost shocking to see, for example, the SLV trades equivalent of 200 million ounces each day now, and we only produce 800 million ounces in a year, but it trades 200 million in a day, which means if people would take delivery, there would be no silver very, very quickly. But most people seem content to trade paper. That's not something that we would recommend. We recommend the physical.
Wait, does that mean I was right?
You were absolutely right. Well done.
Well, thanks for coming.
Okay, Shelley, my pleasure. Okay,
SNN Live. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.